Welcome to Before Floor, the pregame edition of Five on the Floor, brought to you by the Five Reasons Sports Network. I'm your host, Jonathan, aka 3-Piece Combo. I'm joined by Mr. Gadiel Cartagena. Make sure you follow him on Twitter. And Mr. Timmy joining us from down south in Bahamas. Make sure you follow him on Twitter as well. We are playing the Los Angeles Lakers. We were able to take care of business last time at home. Now we're going to go visit them in Los Angeles. They are without LeBron James due to a non-COVID related illness. So no LeBron for them tonight. Of course, no Anthony Davis as well. I'm not sure if Russell Westbrook is going to be playing tonight. Well, Timmy is confirming it. So they're going to have Russ and everybody else minus LeBron, who has been on an absolute tear lately. So I'm curious to see how they play. But before we get into that, obviously, we want to thank our primary sponsor here on the pregame show, which is markbrownpa.com. So you want to give them a call at 954-866-8513 or visit the website at marcbrownpa.com. He's going to take care of all your financial assets if something were to happen to you. He makes sure that you plan that stuff in the right way. Literally had somebody passing away in the family. So this is, if something happens to you, this is what you want to do, right? Give Mark Brown and PA a call. Like I said, 954-866-8513 or visit his website. He'll give you a free consultation, and he's based out of the South Florida area. So he'll make sure he'll take care of you if you live in the area. Now, you guys know every single day we play prize picks. We give you a rapid fire picks. Go to prizepicks.com, use the promo code 5, spell it out, FIVE. We'll double your deposit up to $100. And that's literally 20 free plays if you play on the $5 thing. So you can get it, like I said, promo code is 5, spell it out, FIVE. We'll match your deposit up to $100. Guys, we're playing Los Angeles Lakers today. Like I said, they have no LeBron James. So before we get into Miami's side of things, Gad, let's talk about the Lakers side of things. They have been struggling incredibly, which has honestly been no surprise. I think with coming into this year, it's not like we've expected them to be a great team. We know that the shooting struggles were going to happen. We know that they were going to have spacing issues, especially with both LeBron and Russell Westbrook. And honestly, bringing Westbrook off the bench has helped them play a lot better, in my opinion. I mean, he's now the leader in triple doubles off the bench. He's doing, I saw him play in Orlando. They're able to stagnate those minutes kind of when we had D Wade and LeBron. Obviously, Russell Westbrook isn't D Wade, but when they're able to stagnate or, kind of stagger those minutes in between each other, they made it a little bit better. Obviously, no LeBron tonight. Gad, how do you expect this Lakers team to come out?
The weird thing is, this is one of those games where I feel like they'll actually have pretty good energy. Now that does not always yield results for this Lakers team. I think without LeBron James and Anthony Davis, you can make a legitimate case as the least talented roster in the entire NBA, the one that we'll be facing tonight. And that is not a slight to Lakers. That is just genuinely how their team is built. So I think you're going to see a team that plays a lot of energy. I think Darvin Ham is not afraid to try different things, to get a little bit creative and kind of try to figure out ways in order to maximize lineups. So I think they'll play hard. Play well is a whole nother discussion, and I think the Heat are pretty healthy, so it might not go in the Lakers' favor, but I think they will play hard. I think you will see a team that is actively trying on both ends of the floor.
Now, as far as Miami goes, Bam Adebayo, probably one of his most, I think, dominant games, right? I think when you just want to talk about asserting dominance on a court, that was one of the most dominating performances I've seen from him. He was aggressive, getting to the rims, dunking on everyone, just not being afraid to attack. And it was really refreshing to see. Timmy, what do we see from Bam Adebayo tonight?
Everything. And I actually think Westbrook does start. The last time when Westbrook first was benched, when LeBron missed the game, Ham started Russell. So I think Russell will actually start tonight just because you can't come out against this Heat team with Beverly. There's no walkout. So basically with Beverly and Reeves, just asking for early blood. So I do think Russ will start. Bam, even though Thomas Bryant was a bit annoying on the offensive rebounds in the last game, I just love the poise I'm seeing from all NBA Bam right now. I'm calling it now. I need to see all NBA Bam. I know Domas and Cat and Embiid are hooping, but I need that man to get an all NBA spot. I just think he's in the groove right now. And what I really want to bring up is that it's very interesting at this point in the season where we are finally hitting a stride. No Duncan, no Jovic, no Yurt for at least the next month of all those guys. And those were the kind of the guys that you were looking for, before the season started, you were hoping to get a better Duncan, an infusion of the youth and Jovic and now Yurt, and we haven't seen Yurt at all. Jovic has been good in spurts, and now Duncan, God bless his soul, he broke the record. And I see some people were saying, oh, he screwed over the team. I kind of find it respectable. Like Duncan didn't have to play through the injury for 2 months. I mean, yes, of course he won the record. That's a huge thing on the team that used to employ Timmy Hardaway Jr. Sorry, senior. So I respect the grit. As whatever you could call Duncan, that last year he was soft because of mental issues. But me personally, I respect the grit to play through a finger injury as a shooter for 2 months to just get that record. I have no problem with him looking out for himself now. I think he's probably going to get traded January 15th or 20th or somewhere between then to at least be healthy enough for his next team. So I appreciate what he did. And we're talking about like he's already been traded, but no, I just want to point out the fact that I respect because we see the tweets. He could have just packed it and say, okay, y'all hate me so much. Let me have my surgery. Let me take the month off, So I respect that for him. And now I just don't like that it basically puts the Heat down to 13 healthy players for at least the next month, going into like a grueling. I saw that they say it's put up a shut up time, and they have been put up a shut up the last week or so. But like I think removing Duncan has really just the safety that Max might have had is gone. Like either you shoot or you get into a trade next week because Depot was it. Shout out to Brady. Depot has been terrorizing on defense. Like he had John Wall and hell in that game, in the Clippers game. So I just feel like the energy has shifted. Like shout out to Jalen Brown, but the energy has shifted to where no more excuses. Your 2 games above 500. Your best player. The best 2 players. Like I missed the Clippers game because I had to work, but Bam and Shoes and Depot and Hero all outscored Jimmy. I know Jimmy's coming having managed his knee, but it's time to show what these guys can do. I'm just excited to see. And yes, this is not any a big team to go against, but the Heat do suffer from lack of focus sometimes. Like so, this is literally the worst roster in the NBA right now without LeBron and AD playing. If you guys can come in here and just watch them and get home early to go on Figueroa Street, like you have a serious mental issue right now, a heart issue. If you gotta come in there, just wax these guys and give me some K minutes in the fourth. You guys have a hard problem.
So let's get into the Heat team. Like Timmy was talking about, Gad. Miami played a really, really good, played a good complete game against the Clippers, but that first half against them was probably the best half of Miami Heat basketball that we've seen this season. It was a combination of just obviously the team moving the ball extremely well. I think the point of attack defense, which was a issue before with, obviously Tyler Hero and Kyle Lowry as your backcourt, having Oladipo inserted in that spot and not having to force Caleb Martin to shift up there instead and have him kind of just, maybe guard that wing instead has allowed the Heat's defense to play a lot better. So what did Miami do so well in that first half against the Clippers, and what can they do tonight to repeat that performance?
I think one of the things that worked for them is the Clippers are a very jump shot oriented team, where if you play that strong point of attack defense and you kind of have good rotations, good closeouts, they're just going to shoot jump shots. They're not really going to make a concerted effort to get to the rim. I mean, Zubac is one of those guys that gets more so random baskets as opposed to them running post up after post up after post up, even on mismatches for him, which I think the Heat did also do a good job of containing. I think the Heat just really match up well against the Clippers without Kawhi, because you don't have that guy who's kind of surgical at all 3 levels. It's more so, okay, PG is going to try to cook. Let's shift our defense towards him and then just make all these other dudes shoot jump shots and live with the results. And they got that. And there were some moments, like you said, maybe in that third quarter where they weren't playing their best basketball, but it did feel like one of their best games where the Clippers, in my opinion, didn't play horribly. And the Heat just flat out looked better for probably 40 of those 48 minutes against them. So I think defensively, what you guys both alluded to, having Victor Oladipo there has helped a lot for this team. I think it's bumped everyone kind of more into roles that they're a little bit more comfortable with defensively. And I don't know about you guys. I'm kind of just going to pose this question here. Do you think Depot's better now defensively than he was in the playoffs last year? Because in the playoffs, he was legitimately giving Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown problems, right? But like this year, I watch him play. I feel like he's a top 5 defensive guard so far this season when he's been playing.
It feels so. I don't know the stats, but it just feels with the eye test and like the impact. It looks like he's much better.
Which is insane. It's crazy. But Yeah, I think Victor Oladipo, he's one player that I've been supremely impressed with, and the offense is kind of starting to come around a little bit more. But the defense, I think that alone, he's basically outplaying his contract. He's playing like one of the best defenders in the NBA right now.
No, I'd have to fully agree with you. I think that, one of the, like I said, the four and the point of attack defense has been probably two of the bigger issues for the Heat team. And for them to get this inserted, we know that Miami is a team that the sum of the whole of their parts, however that saying goes, they're always better as like a unit that fits together, right? They need small individual things to come together for this team to function as a whole. And just because we were missing one of those things helped, made a big problem, and it showed on this Heat team not having that point of attack. So I think Depot is playing, like you said, pretty close to on par with what he is last year. And now, if that knee is fully healthy and we can get this Depot for the rest of the season, like that is such a huge upgrade. And that's something that we didn't really expect, especially coming into the season with him being injured. We thought maybe, okay, he was a lost cause. But if he's coming in to this playoff, into this trade deadline, I'm sorry, that just allows us a little bit more flexibility with some of the other players moving forward. So let's get into our prize picks. Gad or Timmy, let's go with you. Bam Adebayo, they bumped him up from 21 to 22.5 points. You going over on that still?
Thomas Bryant with Babu Chicken.
So let's get into Tyler Hero, Gad. They bumped him down a little bit, so they put him at 20.5 points. How you feeling about that one?
20.5. Who even subs in for LeBron for them? Like, are we just gonna get like a steady dosage of Wenyen Gabriel?
Yeah, Wenyen Gabriel. Exactly. That's exactly who's gonna be.
Like, he's active. I don't know. That's weird that they would bump him down. I'll go over as well. I think Tyler's in a groove. And he's been playing some really good basketball. I'll go over. I have no reason to go under. I would be very, very stressed if I took the under on anything Tyler Hero nowadays.
Yeah, that's a really good point, honestly, because Tyler Hero is always cooking. Let's get into I'm gonna go to Jimmy Butler. They have him here with 21.5 points. And honestly, I'm going to probably go under on that because I think the team as a whole is going to eat. So I think Miami gets it done as a unit instead of Jimmy more so doing it. Like you said, Timmy's kind of resting a little bit. So let's get into predictions. Gad, how you feeling about this game? What's the keys to victory? What you think?
We are feeling great. He have been playing better basketball as of late, and I'm not here for moral victories, but I think it's going to start to translate into actual wins and them maybe not going on a run. I still think they're more or less where they were going to be going into the season, which is around like that 4 to 6 range, maybe like 46 to like 44 wins, barring a trade, which could obviously change the mass of this team a little bit. But they've been playing better basketball. I think this is a really easy matchup. I think they understand kind of what's at stake, where they need to start racking up these wins. They can't just keep floating in and out of every game, independent of the talent that they're playing against. They can't keep doing that. They have to show up, take care of business. I feel like they know that at this point. I think having someone who can set the tone defensively outside of Jimmy and Bam in Vic also helps them understand the energy that needs to be on the court. So I'm rocking with the Heat tonight. I think it's going to be a pretty comfortable win, which is really weird because you would think less talented team at their place, late night game on ESPN. This would be a letdown spot for the Heat, but for some reason, I'm still feeling very confident right now.
How you feeling about this one, Timmy?
A confident double-digit win. We just don't need to play down to the competition. You need any more injured players? Just play a game, work out the kinks, get this chemistry between Depot, Hero, and Larry and Jimmy going. That was a bit difficult last year, but I just like to see more reps in those guys. And also Gibbs. I was just interested to see how Spurs are the balance all of these guys. This is the perfect team to do it because the Lakers are another team that's tiny. Without LeBron and AD, I think other than Bryant and Gabriel, they played everyone 6'5" and smaller. So
they only have guards.
Is
Darvin Ham gonna throw out that like 5-guard lineup again tonight out of necessity? Like
he might have to.
Let's get Thomas Bryant in foul trouble.
But anyways, right now, like I feel bad for him at this point. That's brutal. I would not want to be guarding the Heat with Thomas Bryant as my anchor of my defense. That's tough.
But let's get into it. I do think Miami gets it done as well. I think Tyler and Bam have both just been in a really good groove lately. Like they have just been developing the chemistry that we wanted to see like them develop into. It's like we're starting to see sparks of that more and more and more. And I think that the more that we see that, the more excited that we can be about building around the future, right? And make some moves going forward. I know this trade deadline's coming up. There's been some talks about D'Angelo Russell and a lot of different players. I think there's some interesting things that this team could do if we continue to win and not fall too much behind the 8 ball here come the trade deadline, looking into the playoffs coming up soon. So as always, make sure you guys like the video, make sure you guys subscribe, make sure you go to markbrownpa.com, marcbrownpa.com. Give them a call, 954-866-8513. We just did the prize picks. If you want to maximize your money, use the promo code 5, spell it out, FIVE. We'll match your initial deposit up to $100. Make sure you guys do that. And Alejandro, we'll go ahead and take you away into player interviews.
Let's go Heat.